Welcome to another episode of One Door at a Time, Concentric Educational Solutions Podcast, where we talk about the intersection of education, business, and the community. Today, shooting live from NABSE, the 52nd gathering, I have the opportunity and distinct pleasure to welcome Dr. Darryl Henson, Superintendent of Marlin ISD. Man, thank you so much for blessing us.
Having me. Glad to be here.
Not only good brother, you're a Noop.
I mean,
always.
Achievement.
Always. So talk about your journey, man. Like, you know, we just had another Noop on here, Dr. Lavelle Brown.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
From Ithaca. And we're around a lot of superintendents, black males, right? But it's still the minority. Like,
very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Talk about your journey through education, man.
So my journey has been very traditional, from the classroom to the superintendency. But to me, it definitely started when I was in elementary school. I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher.
Really?
And that's crazy, because you think that what typical young black boy knows he wants to be a teacher? But it was just having that impact on my peers, on my friends, grabbing the chalk and helping out the teacher, doing all the assignments on the board. That bug kind of bit me early. And so when I went to school at UT in Austin, I realized I want to make.
So you're a Longhorn.
I'm a proud Longhorn. I bleed burnt orange personally. Yeah. I mean, my blood is burnt orange. Everything I have is burnt orange.
What made you choose UT?
The honest answer is it truly, currently still is the best school in Texas. And as you know, as a Noop, it's all about achievement and doing the best. I don't want second place of anything. So if there's an option that is top notch, if there's an option that is elite, I'm going to choose that elite option.
Gotcha.
And then the University of Texas at Austin is the elite option in the state of Texas.
So I just moved to Texas in Frisco.
Yes, sir.
Right. So what's interesting is my neighbor, he has two daughters, one at A&M and one at UT.
Correct.
Yeah, he has both signs up and stuff like that. How was it going to? Because I went to a small school, Lincoln in Pennsylvania. We only had 1,800 kids. UT
50,000. 50,000 students in the middle of downtown Austin between the ages of 18 and 22.
Good time.
Good time. I might want to leave it at that. But I just say that it was a great experience, because to me, college is not just about academics. It's also about developing socially, turning into an adult.
Yeah.
And whenever you're away from home, even though I'm from Houston and I was 2.5 hours away from home, I'm still developing as an adult in a major city on a campus with 50,000 other minds. And the benefit of it is UT, it was diverse in thought. It may have not been diverse in ethnicity, but you have people from all different backgrounds, socioeconomic classes and statuses. So quickly, you have to adapt, modify, and adjust, and really learn how to operate, as I called it, with the big Longhorns.
How was growing up in Houston? How did that form you?
I believe that being from Houston, it has formed me through and through. And I say this all the time. I speak about it. Your community, your environment, your upbringing, your parents, your grandparents, the church you go to, the city you're born in, it's all embedded in you. Being from the largest city in the state and being from Houston, if you really want to stand out and be recognized, I talk about it, you have to excel. You have to be better than the next man. And life to me is a competition. All this notion of we should just all get along and everyone get a ribbon, that's not embedded in me. But I want to say, being from Houston, Texas, if you want to stand out academically, athletically, in fine arts, you have to be the best. And of course, that natural culture and vibe of just Southern hospitality, and even a little bit of the way in which we dress. They call it swag. We just call it our everyday of life, and how we talk, communicate, and how we really present ourselves. So I love being from Houston, Texas. And we're talking about actually from the city of Houston.
Yeah, right.
Not the surrounding part. Actually from H-Town, you know.
So you come through UT, then, so you were an education major?
Education major. I majored in elementary education.
So you were an elementary school teacher?
I did that for 1 year.
Yep.
I mean, clearly I'm a secondary guy.
Yeah.
But I taught 4th grade for 1 year in Austin ISD. And some of those students, to this day in my class, I talk to on a regular basis. Hugo. Hugo was like my little son. And well, granted now he's 26 years old. But we talk on a consistent basis. And being that elementary teacher, it grounded me. You talk about a foundation. And being self-contained in general education, you have to teach reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. And that formed me who I was as an educator. That's why I can speak for myself. When it comes to having a level of knowledge, of curriculum and instruction, of assessment, of best practices, go teach elementary school and be a self-contained teacher. And if you excel at it, I'm telling you right now, you can teach. But then after my time at elementary school, I went over to become a middle school math teacher.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. So I'm a math teacher by trade. I've taught middle school and high school mathematics, and that's probably where I definitely hang my hat on. Heck, currently right now, Marlin ISD, I'm a math teacher. I'm superintendent / math teacher / track coach. We are all hands on deck.
You ran track?
I ran track.
What event?
I was a high jumper, and I ran the 400 slowly.
All right, I was a half mile.
You know, so I said, yeah, I ran it.
Yeah.
I never said I was fast. I ran it slowly, but I could jump over a bar backwards. But I think it's just our forte and that love for children to where we say, you know what, it's all hands on deck. All hands on deck all the time. And it kind of gets to finish off my journey. Having taught for 6 years in Austin and Houston, and then stepping into administration beginning in Houston ISD, and then going back to Austin.
So you were in Austin as a teacher. You went to Houston?
As a teacher as well.
Wow. Okay.
And then I was blessed to become in Houston at Reagan High School, now Heights High School, an instructional specialist.
Okay.
To where I was touching all content areas in the 9th grade. And as we know in Texas, in 9th grade, you have the most EOCs and STAR tests. So being over the 9th grade academy and seeing those scores rise, but at that time it was how can I support and develop teachers to impact children? And I love that opportunity. And then becoming an elementary principal, a middle school principal, a high school principal, assistant superintendent, and then now
you went all the way through.
I've touched every rung of the ladder.
When did you know you wanted administration?
When I was 9 years old.
Really?
I knew it early on. It's one thing that I know is that there has been a blessing on my life from the Lord. I'm still standing on the prayers of my grandparents to this day. And I think some of those prayers provided focus for my life. It provided just, this is what it is you need to do. This is your calling. And I've never wavered from that. Whenever it's like, well, what major am I going to pick in college? Yeah, there's all these options from business to engineering. But something just keeps leading me back to education, leading me back. And so early on, I knew I want to be a principal and be a superintendent at 9 years old.
Wow.
So I have to wait 26 years.
That's how long you've been in?
No, sir. So I'm saying, like, I became a superintendent at 35. So I knew at 9.
Yep.
So I had to wait 26 years before I became a superintendent.
So you get into the superintendency.
Yes, sir.
What was something that you didn't expect and something that you did expect as being a superintendent?
That's a very tough question. I could speak more to what I did expect.
Okay.
I knew it was going to be hard work. And right now I'm speaking specifically about Marlin ISD, a community that I love with all my heart. They often say, like, kind of love your job, but don't fall in love with it. I've actually fallen in love, deep in love. I mean, Drew Hill, Jagged Edge, Jodeci love with Marlin ISD. But I knew it was going to be a challenge just with the community I face. But probably one thing that I did not know, if I'm being completely honest, is no matter how hard you work, some people are going to always seek out the negative. And a lot of times those people who seek out the negative are the ones who need the help the most. And so it baffles me whenever you're trying to pour your heart in, put in systems to help everyone, especially to help out the ones who have been underserved the most. But at the same time, you're getting the most resistance from the ones who you're trying to help and pour in the most. But one thing about me, I'm never going to give up. I'll have you talk about me, drag my name, type about my name, but at the end of the day, I know that God placed me in a chair to have an impact on your life. And as long as I'm in that chair, your life will be impacted by the work that we do as an education system.
Yeah, like Lavelle was talking about, he didn't think he didn't anticipate the vitriol personally that they would just start attacking. Like
they come for us.
He said,
like, I can't be that bad.
He was like, wow, like people really took it like came at him personally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And he was like that. It was hurtful. He had to get over it, and then realize. I mean, he's been superintendent 15 years now. Like that, part of the game now.
Well, I said this. The one thing that makes me different. I've been attacked personally, and there's been a handful of times where, I mean, like they try and go, but for some reason it really doesn't impact me in that personal way. And so whether that's just blessed or I realize if someone wants to attack me personally. I've said this. That's between you and you and you and Jesus. I'm gonna keep on walking. I'm gonna keep on stepping because growing up, I went to vacation Bible school. Father Abraham had many sons. So I've been marching with the Lord since '84.
Wow.
So as someone talks about me, it doesn't impact me in that way. My love for children is not going to change. My ability to take care of my family is not going to change. My mindset, my vision, my passion, my drive is not going to change. So talk about me, type about me, do all these things. And if someone believes the negative things that you're saying without any sort of basis, then that's on them too. I'm going to smile at you and keep it moving. Because I promise you, when I turn the corner out the parking lot, I'm not thinking about you. And with all due respect or no respect, I'm not thinking about you. I'm thinking about the children who want to be loved, the parents who actually want the input, the feedback, the advice, the community members who want to believe in and be inspired by the hope. That's where I put my energy.
So for aspiring soups, brothers and sisters, what are some pieces of advice you would give them as they come into or seek the superintendency?
Get a base of knowledge, and I want to speak right now to minority leaders because it's different for us. We're not going to try to mince words. As an African American superintendent, you can only make one mistake. You don't get 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can only make one mistake. So you have to have a knowledge base of curriculum, of finance, of operations. A lot of times as leaders, we try to lean too heavily on relationships. Oh, I want to be this politician. I want to kiss babies. I want to dance around and have people like me. That's part of the job as well. But the most important part of the job that I can tell any aspiring superintendent, how well do you understand your state standards? How well do you understand the impact of how your state standards should have a base on the daily instruction that will lead to the end of the year assessment? Do you know finance within your state? Not just a campus budget, but do you truly understand school district level finances to at least have a conversation with your CFO? Or are you going to go in blindly, trust the CFO who is click-clacking buttons on a computer and you don't know where money's going out left and right? But it's going to be your face on the news. Do you know anything about operations? I get it. You were probably a great building principal and you might know a little bit about instruction. But do you know how the wheels on the bus go round and round? Who keeps the chicken nuggets warm and the corn hot? So we have to have a large knowledge base so no one can question you.
How do you those are great points. Like how does an aspiring soup get those?
They need to actually seek it out. Sometimes, meaning go to conferences and not just the ones to network. In Texas, we have TASBO. That's for school business officials. Go to those. That's operations. That's finance. All of the curriculums, all the ASCDs. And of course, I'm not making any plug for any conference. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
You have to actually seek out training. But let's just say, well, my supervisor won't let me go. I'm a graduate of Google and YouTube University. I'm going to get that knowledge because I'm a praying man, but I just can't pray that knowledge will one day hit me in the head. And so if you want for what's yours to be yours, you have to be prepared for it. So I tell them, go out there and get the knowledge and learn as much as you can, whether it's from colleagues and books. And then the next thing, this is an important part. I get it. It's good to have mentors. Nothing wrong with having a mentor. I think that we should all be a sponge. We should all listen and have someone who has more wisdom, who has been there before us. But what are you doing to still be a thought partner with your mentor? Are they just talking and you just receiving and you don't know anything? Or can you now have a deeper conversation with the mentor because, well, I learned a little bit about this, now let me ask them about that. So I'm big on self-development because people are going to come for you. And we talked a little bit earlier about people talking about us negatively and coming for us. One thing they have never said about me and Marlin is that I'm dumb. They said a lot more, but you're right. You can't say that Darryl Henson is unknowing about the district, about academics, about what it takes to improve a school system. And that's what all aspiring superintendents should strive to be. You should strive to have a knowledge base that cannot be attacked, to have a knowledge base that cannot be shaken or shook. You to have a knowledge base that can stand any bit of negativity, speculation, hate, whatever it is. Know what you know and know it.
What are some things that you're proud of about Marlin ISD? Because y'all have made some really good gains.
Correct. First thing, anytime I get a chance to brag on Marlin, I brag on our students and our staff. That growth, not only in our kids, but to see our faculty and staff, how they have improved instructionally, how they have become better professionals. And by that, I mean the way in which they present themselves and how they come to work and the way in which their classrooms look. That to me is a bragging point for the district to say, we have poured into you as a professional, and in turn, you have poured into our children.
Wow.
And so, yes, we could talk about academic numbers and going from an F to a B, but you go to an F to a B by students and teachers. And as a leader, I have to make sure that I'm taking care of the adults in the building. Yes, we are students first, and everything is centered around them. But I do want to make sure that I'm taking care of my teachers, my faculty and staff, because they impact our children.
Yeah.
I can love the kids from my office, but they're loving them for 7 hours a day in the classroom. So I'm most proud of that development of them. And of course, I mean, we've passed the bond. Our facilities will be second to none. We've gained back our accreditation from the state. We are in high regards and high favor within our region and in our community. And I'm just blessed to serve as their superintendent. And we have fun every day.
Noop, I want to thank you. Keep achieving in every field of human endeavor. I appreciate you. Want to thank everybody again. Dr. Darryl Henson,
Yes,
Superintendent Marlin ISD. Thank you, good brother.
No, thank you.
Catch us another episode. As always, you can catch all of our content at concentric.world. Until next time, I'm your host, David Heiber. See you soon. Appreciate you, Noop.
Nah.